Welcome to History at Home, bringing the museum to you. I'm Sarah Byers. One of the people in Niagara Falls who contributed most to an early recording of local history had no idea he was recording local history. His name was William Dalton. All he was doing was going home at the end of the day and writing down his recollections of the day's activities. Born in Niagara Falls, Ontario, on November 15, 1846, William Dalton was the sixth of 8 children for George and Mary Ann Dalton. On March 7, 1865, at the age of 19, William joined the Northern Army in Niagara Falls, New York, to serve during the American Civil War. He signed on for 3 years and served as a private under George E. Ghent with Company F of the 3rd Regiment Infantry, New York. He fought in several notable battles before the war ended, and he was discharged in Raleigh, North Carolina on August 28, 1865. William's discharge papers describe him as 5 foot 7 inches tall with a fair complexion, blue eyes, and a baker by trade. Shortly after his discharge, Dalton enlisted to defend Canada during the Fenian raids, for which he was awarded a medal in 1866. 2 years later, he married Louisa Latshaw on November 11, 1868. Louisa was born on October 1, 1843 in Stamford Township and had been twice married before meeting William, spending some time living in the United States. With that, William's family expanded to include 3 children from Louisa's previous marriage. William's new father-in-law, John Latshaw, was a well-known architect, responsible for the planning and building of the Stamford Township Hall, as well as Lundy's Lane Methodist Church at Drummond Hill Cemetery. In the census of 1871, Dalton's trade was still listed as baker. However, he became caretaker of Stamford Township Hall once it opened in 1874 and stayed on for 38 years. He kept meticulous records of activities in the hall: concerts, plays, socials, and religious meetings. Space was rented out to the Masonic Lodge No. 105, the Drummond Fire Department, and the Police Department, all of which William became an active member. In 1876, William was appointed Sexton of Drummond Hill Methodist Church and Superintendent of Drummond Hill Cemetery, where he worked for a number of local undertakers. During his 40-year tenure, again he kept detailed records and a personal scrapbook of local news and obituaries. The records, now part of Niagara Falls Museums archives, also note many discoveries of war relics. It is in that capacity that his daily reports became important. He kept a journal of who was buried and where their plot was in relation to other plots or some geological feature. In addition, he usually noted who had conducted the funeral and who the undertaker was. He very often indicated the other members of the family what the cause of death had been and sometimes what he thought about the deceased. He was also asked from time to time to dig graves in other cemeteries as well. In spite of spelling problems with names and quaint grammatical style, his records provide a good account of the citizens of Drummondville. One short quotation will provide an idea of these daily recordings. W.K. Knapp was taken out of his grave by William Dalton and Mr. M. Morse and put in a tight box and sent home to Utica, New York State. He was the man shot himself at the falls and jumped in and was found at the whirlpool. William Dalton passed away in 1916 in Guelph, Ontario after a short illness. He was 70 years old and had only been retired for 1 month. The funeral was held at 2 p.m. on December 24th from his home at 22 North Main Street and was attended by associates from organizations on both sides of the border and officiants from a number of local churches. At a prominent spot of his choosing in the center of Drummond Hill Cemetery, you might visit the resting spot of William and Louisa and survey the good work that he did, considering the many lives that he had touched. Thank you for joining this History at Home. I'm Sarah Byers.